totally 98% original. This is the 10th line that I've written for the Crown Conference, and by special request I've been asked to add one little bit in it, which I've put in, so I hope you don't mind. Now I suppose you're wondering what this is. I'm not having a whip round. On the way up, Stevie Duncan handed me this glass. He said, Jim, you'll probably be needing this, because you'll need something to put it all in if this year of marketing you're planning on taking a piss. I said, well, Stevie, what's in the rhyme this year? There's no one here who knows. So do us a favour, keep your eye on the glass and give us a shout if it overflows. Here's your piss. I was walking the streets of Manchester last year, putting the finishing touches in the rhyme. And a lady of the night gave Kevin Clark a card, saying all negotiations will be carried out in mind. Well, I don't have to tell you the reason why Kevin didn't stay, but he thought 30 quid were a bit over the top for a quick cup of Nescafe. Well, I tried to explain it to Kevin, because I was sure he didn't understand why he didn't hear any coffee beans rattling in her hand. Well, then I thought the penny finally dropped. He said, you must think I'm as thick as a plank. But I still think 30 quid was a bit much. Because coffee's something I've never drank. Well, the next thing you know, along came Colin and Keith, and I saw them exchanging the business cards. And I heard them invite her back to the hotel, said he'd enjoy a good game of charades. Well, I nipped back to the hotel before them, and I know it may be wrong of me now to tell, but I sneaked into each of their rooms, and under each bed I tied a big bell. Well, when they came back to the hotel later, they both looked a couple of daffers. But were it really the fire alarms that we all heard, or were it Colin were like bloody clappers? Keith Spittle was missing when the roll call was held. Someone said, oh, he's in the room next door to mine. At first I thought he were watching the news at 10, but the bells, they seemed to stop when they got to 9. Well, I was going to say 7, but it didn't fit. Well, I thought it were only the lads on trade that so early in the night would retire. But then all hell broke loose with those bells when someone shouted, come quick, I think there's a fire. Here we had a laugh at the Houses of Commons that day on the Granada studio tours, with retail on the left and trade on right, all trying loudest to shout, hey up yours. And then Stuart Parker were thrown out with Blackrod. That's the trouble with these renouncers. And Liz MacDonald she entered the chambers and brought with her a couple of bouncers. Well, I saw the look on the trades lads' faces. Their eyes, they fell out of their pockets. And the eyes they fell out of their pockets. And while everyone else was trying to pick them all up, Wheaty, well, he just kept his hands in his pockets. He said, I wasn't doing anything naughty, and I wasn't trying to have a cheap little thrill. But I was sat there waiting patiently, trying to raise my own private member's bill. Keith Spittle was running through the corridors of Crown House, and he had a 12-bore shotgun in his hand, muttering something about a ruined allocation into Texas that he planned. Well, he waved his weapon up and down and then from side to side. He started calling out Rob Burton's name, saying there were nowhere he could hide. He said that although they've been pals for years and he put up with all his little vices, but Keith had just read the papers today when B&Q announced a new policy on the prices. Well, then Keith, he finally tracked Rob down to Rainbows, the new name for the Crown Dining Halls. And as he raised his weapon, he said to Rob, I'm going to blow away your balls. Yeah! Oh, God, not my balls, said Rob. There must be something I can do to make you believe me when I tell you. It's as much of a surprise to me as it is to you. Well, Rob begged him to give him a sporting chance and said that tomorrow B&Q he'd ring him. So Keith said, well, the only chance I'll give you is I'll probably let you swing him. Now, did Keith really pull the trigger, or did he just lay his weapon down? Or is there any truth in the rumour that Rob Burton is the oldest swinger in Crown? I got 5 quid to say that one. Now, unfortunately, Sean Brown is not with us here tonight. It's a shame, because it took me bloody ages to write this bit. But it goes anyway. Sean Brown's secretary got engaged last year. A ring, it was a cluster of diamonds, emeralds and rubies. But her fiancé said he wasn't going to name the day until she developed a bigger pair of the boobies. So she went along to see the doctor, but his remedies were met with flat rejections. As she's allergic to every type of drug, she couldn't have the silicone implants, of course, her hormone injections. Now, she was determined to achieve a goal and get her fiancé to name the big day. But the only way she could develop the size of her bust was to exercise, the Mary McGinty way. Now, Mary McGinty's exercises really do work, but you've got to match the exercise with a precise amount of time. So, to help the patients to monitor this, she devised the Mary McGinty rhyme. And it goes, Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was going to snow, and you can exercise at any time if you want your bust to grow. Well, she went into the office every day, and there was no one else there inside. She started to do her exercise, and the Mary McGinty line she would recite. Well, then one day, she was only halfway through, and she went into a sudden state of shock. Because there was Sean shaking his leg, reciting Hickory Dickory Dock. Well, Sean, he didn't have a look at the Irish. He should have took himself in hand. Now, with one big leg, one leg 6 inches bigger than the other, he finds it ever so difficult to stand. So he started to exercise the other leg, and he was explaining to his mother just why he couldn't go through life with one leg so much bigger than the other. Well, now he's grown 6 inches in height, and he has to bend down to go through the door. But Sean, you're worse off now than when you first started, because it's 6 inches further away from the floor. A new salesman's first call was a branch of ads, so he wanted to make a good impression. And then the manager had a real go at him and said, you're always out of stock of FN colouring in expression. Well, the salesman, he tried to keep his cool and demonstrate some real restraint, but then he went and lost it when he said, maybe it'd last longer if you didn't mix so much of your own brand effing paint.